Good morning, welcome back to the channel. The weather is really, really grim today. It has been all week. I managed to get a run in yesterday in the sun. I did a 3k run and then a 1k cool down, which went really, really well. Today my legs feel absolutely fine. There's just no pain there again. So I think we're pretty much there now in terms of the injury. I went to the physio last week and he said that I can pretty much start getting back to normal again. Just be careful, do shorter runs during the week and then one long run once a week. So that's really, really cool. It's been quite a good week actually. I watched the London Marathon on Sunday, got really inspired by it, saw a load of people entering next year's race and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it, I'm just going to enter it, I've got nothing to lose. So next year I could possibly be running the London Marathon. Last night I watched the men's 10k world record and the women's 5k world record, which was absolutely insane. It was unreal to watch. And I've also been working on a project that I've been wanting to work on for so long, but I keep stopping myself from doing it. I'm holding myself back. And I just thought, you know what, it's time to just start doing the things that make me happy, start doing the things I've always wanted to do. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. So hopefully in the next few days, next few weeks, I'll be telling you what that is. Yesterday's video is a little bit different to anything that I've done before, but I thought if somebody's watched it and they thought, you know what, I want to start running, this would be a really good video to make. So this is pretty much just a few tips on the things that I wish that I knew when I started running, a few things that I think other people should know when you start running, and yeah, just some general tips for beginner runners. One of the biggest things that held me back from running when I first started, or even getting going in the first place, was worrying about people looking at me, staring at me, laughing at me, judging me. And I used to get really anxious about it and it put me off from going outside. But then I remembered that nobody actually cares what you're doing. Nobody is looking at you. You're in your own bubble anyway, so you don't even care who's around you. And the one thing that I kept saying to myself, the one thing that I kept remembering was when I'm outside and I see a jogger, I don't care what they're doing. I don't look at them. I don't even notice them. So why would anyone notice me? So in the nicest way possible, nobody actually cares what you're doing. Everyone's just getting on with their own lives. And that is a really important thing to remember when you start running. My next bit of advice is don't go out and spend a load of money on new running clothes just yet. When I first started running, I went to Sports Direct, got the cheapest pair of trainers I could find and just made do with that for a few months. The best thing about running is it doesn't really cost anything. You don't need a membership. You don't need the latest running gear. The only thing I will say is when you do start to take it seriously, when you do more of it, you will need to buy proper trainers. So you can go to your local running shop, they can test how you run and get the right pair of trainers for you. But for now, the most important thing is you want to make it a routine, you want to make it a habit, and then the desire to buy new things will come later on. This is quite an important point, especially if you start watching YouTube or you download Strava, and that is do what works for you. I got really caught up with what other people were doing. I had a lot of comments on YouTube suggesting different training techniques to me, and they just didn't work for me. I didn't enjoy them, and I kind of lost sight of the reason why I run, and that is simply just to enjoy it, to clear my head, and to do it for my mental health. Don't get me wrong, I'm more than appreciative of all the comments that I get, but things like math training and other styles of training, they're just not for me. And the important thing to remember is running shouldn't be a chore, it should be fun, it should make you happy. So do what works for you, do the things that make you the happiest, whether that's a 10-minute run, hill runs, trail running, it doesn't matter what other people are doing, you're just doing it for you. And that is extremely important to remember, especially the more you get into it. If you feel fully comfortable running a particular route, then stick at it, don't change it. But if you want something a little bit different, try and explore new places, research trails, nearby parks, different routes. Ever since I discovered that literally a 2-minute walk away from me, there's 18k worth of trails, I find it really difficult running the old routes that I used to do. So now my week is just mixed up of trail running in the park, running on the road, and it just makes things more varied. It's not the same old route all the time, and it makes things a little bit more exciting. When I run, I properly switch off. I don't even know what I think about. So when I'm outside on the trails and all I can hear is like the birds, the trees, I'm surrounded by all the scenery, it just makes the run just so much more nicer, and it's more like meditation to me. So one thing I would suggest is try running on trails, maybe with a friend, put a podcast on, put some music on, and just enjoy your surroundings. The final point that I'll end on is remember that you don't have to run marathons, you don't have to run races. If you go outside and run for 10 minutes, you run for 5 minutes, you run for a minute, that's an achievement in itself. Remember that everyone's on their own journey. People are running for different reasons. Some people might take it more seriously than others, but most of all, you're running to enjoy it. You're running for your mental health, your well-being, and that's all you have to run for. However, if you do want to run a marathon, that's also fine. That's great, but you don't have to run a marathon. I think I know the main reason why I got injured in May was because I just got caught up with what everyone else was doing on Strava. So I set myself a goal of running 100k in a month, and I absolutely messed my leg up because of it, and I couldn't run for 3 months. So just do it for you. Don't get caught up with what everyone else is doing. Don't compare yourself to others. Take it slow, enjoy it, focus on making it a habit, getting outside and just enjoying your surroundings, because you'll feel incredible afterwards. And that's why I say that running has the power to change your life. So don't be afraid to start, just do it, go for it, and hopefully you'll love it as much as I do. Today's been a really productive day. I've done a lot that I needed to get done for ages. I've done some planning, I've done some writing, I've done some editing, and just so far it's just been a really, really good day. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do 3k, I think, or just like a 20-minute run on the treadmill. I said on Strava the other day that I want to start getting used to the treadmill now it's winter, because I hate the treadmill, but the weather's getting cold, it's getting dark, it's raining quite a lot, and sometimes I need to make use of the treadmill more. So I'm trying to use that more and trying to enjoy it. It's the day after, and I did go for a run last night. I went on the treadmill, I did a 3k run and a 1k cool down, listened to a podcast, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm starting to really enjoy the treadmill, but it's also the first time that I've run on consecutive days, and today there's no pain. So I don't want to get my hopes up, but we're pretty much there. We're pretty much back to normal, so that's really, really good. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.